Good timing, my friend. How can I help? What of it? I always fancied myself a bit of a philanthropist. Giving back is perhaps one of the most important things a man can do with their time on Earth. And ever since I heard about the Tommy expansion in Brixton... Brickton, in the papers, I knew there was one thing I wanted to do. I want to build a water well for the people of Brixton. As a Westminster resident, I feel partially responsible for the contamination in the area. Did you know that there's a huge percent of population without easy access to clean, potable water? That's why we're building a well. As for Brixton, well, you can't get much poorer than them, right? Graham was a former co-worker of mine. He quit some years before me, citing a growing disillusionment with local government. I kept in contact with him because he was a nice chap. And believe me, those are quite rare nowadays. Very well. I eagerly await further updates. I've lost track of up and down. Check the breast pockets. It's where I keep my valuables. I'd pop on that torch of yours if I were you. Things about to go bump around here. must say, following you was the best choice I made. Indeed. Remember, aim for the tail, 5-round ring. Let me show you just what I know. As a member of the corpse minority, I see no problem with this. Let's put this poor thing out of its misery. Successful violent interaction.
We won't go quietly. You can count on...
That bloke Lieutenant Dunn is nothing but a posh, gentry-born, smooth-talking tosser, if you ask me. As an officer, he's got all the time in the world to play the field while I'm busy performing my duties. He thinks he can charm Private Fox with his one-liners and flattery. Fat chance, I say. A woman like her isn't going to be fooled by a guy like him, I hope. I ain't in the mood for joking around, but maybe you've got a point. Private Fox might need a bit of help realising what kind of man Dunn really is. I've been getting my orders from him every week for a year. They're the rudest, most condescending documents I've ever read. I bet you all I've got that Private Fox's orders are nothing like the ones Dunn gives me. So this is what I've done. I've tweaked them a bit. I've swapped my name with Private Fox's. Would you mind passing these revised orders to her, saying it's from Dunn?
I wish I could meet the Queen.
There's a chill about in the air. I like it.
You'd have to be insane to take on the Tommies.
Mind the garp and all that. tongues never, never, never shall be slaves.
God save our gracious queen. Long live our noble queen.
The impregnable nature of this place is worth discussing.
Greetings. What can the Tommies help you with? That is correct, yes. I wouldn't say it's a love triangle. That lowly private is deluding himself if he thinks she'd pick him over me. I'm intelligent, well-educated, and come from good stock. Whereas, well, he's just common rubbish. The entire effort is delusion on his behalf. I'm sure I've caught him slipping away from his duties just to try and chat with her. He needs to wake up and realize it's not going to happen. Is that supposed to be funny? Amusing? No. But you're right, it's not good for me if Private Baker keeps finding ways to work alongside Private Fox. Here, take this letter I wrote in Baker's name. It's pretty nasty, so it should get Fox to stop seeing him.
How's it going? Not seen you around here before. What are you talking about? What's in this letter? Lieutenant Dunn wanted me to believe that Private Baker wrote this. Really? I can't believe he actually tried this. You should have a word with Baker. He'll be chuffed to bits you had his back. Most people suck up to Dunn.
Hello, mate. How did it go, eh? I really appreciate your help. Thank you. Please, take these. Some tickets I've saved up. Thanks, friend.
We won't go quietly. You can count on that.
Unless you want to look like me, I'd suggest moving along. Something, I knew it. We're being attacked.
Ever vigilant. What's your business?
Patience is key for the quest to continue.
You have eyes, use them. London is the place for me.
Hail, mate.
As I live and breathe, Arthur Mountbatten. And I can see you've brought a friend with you. I am Graham Parker. A pleasure to meet you. What brings you two to this little side of paradise? We used to work side by side. Literally, my cubicle was right next to his cubicle. Hard not to become friends when you're that close to someone. I mainly work on ensuring that Brickton gets all the supplies and resources it needs to survive. It takes quite a lot to keep a place like this well fed, but I'm doing my part. I had joined the Foreign and Commonwealth office in the hopes of changing London for the better. But at one point, I realized our job consisted of nothing but pointless cataloging and data entry. And so, I came here to make a real difference. Ah, I see. So it's finally happened. Arthur has told me quite a lot about his to-do list, and this well in particular. But I'm afraid it won't be as easy as he made it seem. You see, money alone won't save the world. The tickets can cover the labor, but the people of Brickton don't have access to the kinds of materials necessary to build a permanent water well. With a small investment of 250 tickets, I can build a temporary well. It won't be perfect, hell, it won't even be that good, but it will help. If you get me 500 tickets, I'll be able to build a better temporary well. It'll help more people, but again, it'll be temporary, not made to last, you see. For us to truly help Brickton, we'd need someone to go to the nearby abandoned construction site and collect a few materials for us. Someone like, well, you and Arthur. Stay safe. Arthur, how goes your cricket game? Still a wizard with the wicket?
Haven't played a game since you left, Graham. None can compare to you.
Still the czar of compliments, I see. We must catch up.
Soon, my friend. Soon. Another brand of robotic thievery. Ponder the mysteries of the universe long enough, and they'll ponder back at you.
Friend of Arthur's is a friend of Brickton. Yes? Fantastic work! This is outstanding. No, this is revolutionary. You've single-handedly changed the game. Tell Arthur that the Mountbatten Well will be built here in Brickton, and that he has found his perfect philanthropic match in you.
Ah, another query. These are my favorite part of the day. What of it? I know, and you did such a formidable job. That well isn't just a symbol of hope, my friend. It's an enduring monument to our partnership, and what happens when great minds work together. Although the well bears my name, equal credit belongs to you. Now, it's time for the last item on my list. And this one is perhaps the most difficult to bear with. I need you to help me find my parents' burial place. I don't remember where it is anymore. I don't remember if I ever knew. But not a day goes by where I don't ponder about it, especially as I have begun to forget almost everything I knew about them. We should start with the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. Perhaps they'll have a clue there. Or perhaps I should find a new way to say goodbye. Do keep in mind, we might dabble in some trespassing. It'd be wise to keep our wits about us. I truly appreciate your assistance. Maybe we should take this as a chance to escape. Oh, no. Anyway... I just tripped. Can't avoid this fight.
Hail, fellow. My respects to you. Your exploits are known here. Have you come to join us? I'm Lancelot, head of security here at Camelot. Stop by the tavern sometime. You can buy me a drink. Westminster's usually closed to us commoners. Parliament even more so. But you got those signatures and beat the gentry at their own game. All within their sodding laws. In a fair world, they'd let you in. Instead, they chucked you in the nick. Typical, innit? When you escaped, it's only natural fate led you here. This land is Albion. You stand before Camelot, the last stronghold against gentry tyranny. The fifth column. They won't destroy what the gentry stands for, only replace them. That's what I like to see. Usually I send recruits to Merlin, but you'd be wasted as a levy. Go find Arthur. He'll know what to do with you.
There's a place for me.
Ever vigilant.
Stop this madness at once! Is there not a grain of sense between you?
If the old man wants to fight, let him.
By all means, fight. Such is the custom of Dueler's Ditch, but not to the death. Do not spill the blood of your compatriots.
Compatriots? Do compatriots break honest agreements out of spite? Do they lie and cheat? The Baileys are nothing but crooks.
My family followed that ridiculous agreement to the letter.
This matter was resolved. The Round Table decreed half the forest to be preserved. What happened?
Card, burned to the ground.
And was this your family's doing, Thomas?
Of course not. The old man's deranged. What good is a charred forest to us? We're carpenters.
The Radstags have fled for the hills. The land is useless to us now. Your half-wit of a father thought we'd sell it to you.
Don't speak about my father. You have no idea.
One of you, John, call this off. No one will think any less of you.
They've gone too far this time, Arthur.
Thomas?
I need to defend my family's honor. I won't take these accusations sitting down.
Very well. Commence.
What the...
Wait!
Will you not cheer the victor?
He was a young man, John. This feud has gone on too long. I shall send someone to investigate the matter. It will be resolved.
He agreed. Such is our way.
Some will judge me for what has happened here today. They'll claim that because I could have stopped it, I should have. What do you think? Yes, I had similar thoughts. Freedom of choice is important to many of my people. I have to refrain from exercising power whenever possible, even if I want to. I have only the authority my people have given me. They trust in the end, when Westminster falls, that democracy will take its place. Everything I do must be towards that goal. Any unnecessary use of power will break their trust, and trust is keeping this movement together, not strength. Anyway, don't get the wrong idea. Our tourney grounds across the field are oft used for friendly bouts. Speak to Galahad if you're interested. Is there something you wish to discuss? Direct them to Percival. He enjoys bombarding newcomers with the riveting tales of Camelot and our history, as if it was already enshrined in legend. Anything else? Good. You could be the missing piece. I'm relieved Lancelot sent you to me. Merlin would have you running the beep test. Our contact in Westminster told us of your story. You are no doubt someone who can perform beyond rank-and-file duties. I had some things I wanted to ask you if we ever cross paths, but now isn't the time. There's a more pressing matter at hand. This feud between the Fletchers and the Baileys. It started as bickering, but now there's blood involved. I fear it will escalate further until one of them is driven from the land. This is not what anyone wants. To lose either family is to lose the food on our tables or the tables themselves. Hunters and woodcutters are the basis of any decent civilization. On top of that, if we're ever going to finish Merlin's trebuchet, we need supplies and aid from both families. So, I need a trustworthy outsider to investigate. In short, I need you. Consider it your initiation. Well, to be entirely truthful, I think it's unnecessary. The Baileys easily could have expanded their yard in a different direction, or made do with what they had. Same for the Fletchers. That land may have been their most bountiful, but they have acres of Camelot territory to hunt in. I suspect pride is mixed up in this somewhere, on both sides. I have no reason to suspect either family. They both accuse each other of the same crime, and I don't wish to inflict bias on your judgment. I would trust any of my men to carry out the investigation impartially, but they wouldn't. The decision on their land dispute, for example. It was a 50-50 compromise, yet both perceive it as a loss induced by bias. With an outsider carrying out the investigation, they might accept the Round Table's decision. Us. Camelot. Pieces are falling into place, and the gentry are on their way out. Once upon a time, the two families were friendly. They're neighbours. The Baileys even helped the Fletchers build their treehouse. It's an impressive structure, I must say. The conflict stems from a piece of disputed land. The Baileys kept expanding their lumber yard into the Fletchers' hunting grounds. When the Fletchers appealed to the Round Table for judgment, none had a superior claim. So we split the land in half. They both felt robbed, but the matter was resolved. For a time. That was until the fire. A section of the land caught aflame during the night. It was mostly on the Fletcher's side, but the Baileys weren't unscathed. They both accuse each other of starting it. If either claim is truthful, then sanctions would have to be handed out. I need you to get to the truth of the matter, and I want some evidence. They're not urgent. You can focus on the task at hand. Good. Start by questioning the leaders, Edward Fletcher and Harold Bailey. Get both sides of the story. Then investigate the scene of the fire. See what you can find. Lancelot ordered patrols to keep an eye on the area and warned everyone to stay clear, so nothing should be tampered with. Once you've brought evidence of the truth, I can bring you into the fold. For now, I'll let Lancelot know you can come and go to the castle as you please. Good luck.
I must admit, I'm not exactly interested in grown men who've decided to dress up as medieval knights. So many better things to do with your free time.
Patience is key, for the quest continues.
I have a London joke. A sailor, a clergyman, and a street urchin walk into the pub. Oh, wait. I forgot the punchline.
Need something? I'm not sure. I'll be honest, what my brother did was regrettable. John and the boy weren't part of this feud, or at least they shouldn't have been. Being knights of Camelot, they live, or lived, at the castle. Seems they had a feud of their own after the fire, a microcosm of conflict. It's unfortunate it escalated. I almost lost my Mary last year to illness. I can't imagine the pain Harold must be going through. Whatever he did, no one deserves that. It's about time. There's been too much confusion around this fire. It must be stamped out. While I'm certainly not shy about making their involvement in the fire known, I think they're good people at heart. They're just stubborn. They know that land is ours. We moved into the area and claimed it weeks before they even arrived. And they think just because they helped build this place that we owe them. They received banquets of food in return. More than fair. This was the early days of Camelot, nearly 8 years ago. They could have starved without our generosity. I was preparing dinner for my family. I'll do a terrific venison stew. Here, have a can. Harold Bailey himself, I suspect. Or maybe his father. I doubt he would have gotten any of his boys to do it. Who else would do it? If you have any evidence to the contrary, then fair enough. I'll put a sock in it. But I don't know anyone else with a motive. Well, I'm certainly not they're just stuck. And they think this was the... Very well. Wouldn't say we need help, but if you ever fancy picking up a spear, I'd pay you well for any game you bring us. I'm Edward Fletcher, hunter by trade. Me and my family packed up shop and came to Albion 7 years ago, from Brumley. Back there, we had to fend for ourselves. But here, we're protected. We can hunt in peace. It's a good living, and we're good at it. Me and my brother come from a long line of huntsmen. Our father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all stalked the wastes. And I hope my descendants will do the same. Mary, my oldest, continues the tradition. Sarah, my youngest, can't stand it. Says it's cruel. Each to their own, I guess. Let's have a look then. Need something? Later.
Can I help you? He had an accident, that's all. A tree fell on me. Hazard of the trade. Yeah? Good. Not sure who done it myself. All I know is that my brother shouldn't have died over some poxy forest. Are you? You round table lot could have stopped it. But you didn't. You just stood and watched it happen. I'm Ryan Bailey. Not much to say, really. I don't get up to much. I work hard and I keep my head down. Bye.
Hello there. I didn't lose my son. He was taken from me. That whoreson, John Fletcher, murdered him. He can call it a duel all he wants. Fletcher knew my son wouldn't refuse. Thomas would have done anything to defend our family. Worst of all, Fletcher knew he'd win. He's a trained killer since birth. It was murder. Murder hiding behind the notion of honor. John Fletcher is a bitter old man to rob my son of the rest of his life. Someone with a good sword hand should give him what for. I should try myself. I want to tear his guts out with my bare hands. But all I can do is swing this axe. And my sons already lost their brother. Good. The truth about this fire will prove our innocence. They were nice enough at first. We even helped build that treehouse of theirs, but they quickly revealed their true colors. That land is rightfully ours. It's on our side of the walkway. Stopping our field at some arbitrary line is ridiculous. They have the entire woods to hunt in. Do you know how much additional manpower it takes to haul wood long distance? I used to think they were just stubborn. Now I know it's something more malicious. After what they did to my son, I'll never forgive them. Listening to the radio. I always tune into Nigel's show in the evenings. I'd almost drifted off in my chair when the smoke got me up. I thought the whole forest was going to burn down. We managed to stop the spread with the water from the pond. The Fletchers. I don't have any evidence, but I know it was them. That may not be good enough for the Round Table, but it's good enough for me. They're criminals. Of course he does. Look, I know this fire doesn't look good for us. It mostly being their land. But I promise you, it wasn't us. The Fletchers are conniving. They know if we ever did something like that, we'd face sanctions. Most likely, they'd get their half of the land back. No worries. I'm Harold Bailey. We were a family of merchants before we came to Albion. We wanted to settle down here, so we picked up a trade. At first, we were just woodcutters, but soon enough we started building our own furniture, and then other people's furniture, and then houses and everything in between. We finally feel like we belong somewhere. I hope the rest of London will see what's happening here and accept Camelot as the way forward. We have too many workers for the little land we have, but we'll buy any wood you can spare. Give you a good price for it too. Wood, tools, and other bits. Furniture is made to order, though.
I can find a rubbish bin for you to throw that in if you'd like.
Need help? Hello, sir. Name's Timothy. Or Timmy, for short. Saw the fire with me own eyes, I did. Thought the old forest was a goner till it started chucking down. Could be I can help with your investigation. Always fancied a career in sleuthing. I watched you snooping round like a prat, that's why. Harold and Susan, but I just call them Mum and Dad. I'm their youngest. Because I'm gonna help with the investigation. That's why. Thanks. I try not to think about it. Me and me older brother Ryan looked up to Thomas. Well, since I don't fancy digging round in the mud for clues, I can do you one better. I saw a bloke light the fire that night. I didn't see his mug. I was watching from the lumberyard, but he was suited up like a Camelot knight. He ran off to the old shack over there. I didn't follow him or nothing. I'm not supposed to go out on my own. So, did I crack the case or what? You know, checking the trees. It's a family business. Not really. It was dark until the fire properly got going. By then, he'd run off to the shack. No worries. I'm always glad to lend a hand to those in need.
What's up? I see. Be careful out there. The Baileys are loose cannons. I'm a seamstress. Have been all my life. I make gambesons and the like for the Camelot army. Take care.
Baileys couldn't stand to leave a nice woods be. They had to chop it all down for the sake of materialistic things like chairs. They didn't get their way, so they burnt it down. I'm Sarah. The rest of my family are hunters, but I know better. The animals feel pain just as we do. They act like I'm some kind of revolutionary. Later.
Need something? What? Let me see that. Well, this certainly isn't my handwriting. Looks like it were written by a child. And why would I address my brother by his full name? And most importantly of all, why would I have him burn down my own land? To get one over on them? That's ridiculous. Us Fletchers don't act in pettiness. Tricked by the Baileys, no doubt. I trust you to see the truth of this letter and dismiss it in your inquiries. Fire away. The Baileys are the type to deny reality when it suits them. Of course we didn't burn down our own land. We're simple folk. We don't like trouble. Very well. Later.
Can I help you? He had an accident, that's all. A tree fell on me. Hazard of the trade. Oh shit. It's not what it looks like. At least, it didn't happen the way you think. Please, just let me explain. It was an accident. Me and Timmy were sneaking off to the tavern that night. We wanted to surprise Thomas. One of those bleeding radstags came out of nowhere and rammed right into my leg. I didn't even notice I dropped the lantern. We ran off, and Timothy went to get me some bandages. By the time he came back, the fire started. No. I think my mum suspects, but she doesn't know. My dad wouldn't believe it even if he saw it. I don't know. I told him not to. We knew this fire would be bad for the family, me especially. I guess he wanted to protect me. Probably afraid of losing another brother. Please, tell Arthur the whole truth. Make him understand.
Hello there. How dare you? How dare you accuse my son? Whatever led you to that insulting conclusion is wrong. I won't hear another word of it. Hello there. See you around. Hello there. Go on. No worries. See you around.
Look around you. There's very little left, and yet we remain.
Ever vigilant.
Patience is key, for the quest continues.
How goes the investigation? Go on. As I unfortunately suspected. The evidence? I was so sure this was about the land. I didn't think Harold and Edward could both be wrong. What exactly happened? Those poor boys. The guilt they must be feeling over their brother. Terrible. I'll have a talk with them. Consider the matter dealt with. I know Edward Fletcher. He's not one to demand sanctions over the mistakes of two boys. And Harold? Well, I'll talk with him too. I asked for the truth and you gave it to me. Now I must act on it. I shall be glad to settle this dispute amicably. Thank you. You've done well, and proven yourself worthy of Camelot. From this day forth, this land is your land. You shall defend it as your own. I bestow upon you the rank of sergeant. May you serve it well. Now, I had questions if we ever cross paths. Questions about our new head of the civil service, Smythe. Guinevere, our agent in Westminster, has been looking into them for years, but they remain elusive. Who are they? I see. That's some alarming intel. How did you come by it? Rough. I imagine that trail led you to Westminster. But who let you in? Few have the privilege to come and go. Curious. I assume that meeting never happened, judging by your prompt incarceration. After you escaped, Tristan and Iseult met you at the tournament. It seems you were more than just an observer. They said you were looking for explosives, so I must assume you were behind the explosion. Why exactly? So you wanted to kill Smythe, but ended up causing the tragedy that gave them more power. I'd wager Mr. X was more fond of Smythe than he let on. But that's in the past. No point dwelling on it. I expect this Smythe character will take a role in things to come. We must be ready to face all the gentry can throw at us. They're with Smythe now. That gets me onto your next assignment. I want to strike a blow against the Tommies, but I don't want to take military action. At least not yet. Percival is looking into something that you can help with. Speak to him. Good luck, Sergeant.